So it's 10 p.m. and I just got back from watching the Super Mario Brothers movie. And it's Super Mario Brothers, it's Illumination, the same studio that made the Minions and Despicable Me and all that. So, here are my thoughts. So, here are my thoughts of the Super Mario Brothers movie. It is more enjoyable than other Illumination movies out there. It's maybe because Illumination has less creative control over their other projects than they do with their Despicable Me movies. And I enjoyed the first Despicable Me, and the second one's pretty decent as well, but a lot of Illumination movies are a cash grab filled with celebrity voices and dated pop culture references and blah 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 and all that. But the Mario movie, it still has some Illumination elements to it. Like, it still has the celebrity voices, and I remember looking at the reveal at Nintendo Direct when Nintendo revealed the cast of the Mario movie, and I was laughing my ass off. Chris Pratt as Mario, like, that's what cracked me up, and Jack Black as Bowser.
Do you yield?
On my epic ass.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Why would, like Mario isn't something, Mario isn't a story-driven video game at all. Like, there are some the Mario RPG games like Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door are more story, is one of the more story-oriented Mario games, but other than that, like, Mario is about rescuing the princess and rescuing her ass. She's captured, rescue her ass. That's it. That's Mario. That's the story of Mario. But in the Super Mario Brothers movie, it's not about Peach getting captured at all. It's about Mario rescuing his brother. And Princess Peach is more of an independent woman rather than a damsel in distress. She's more of a woman who puts herself in the battlefield to protect her kingdom, kind of like Zelda or Crystal. Right now, I'm actually used to seeing the cast having the celebrity voices as Mario characters, like Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong and Charlie Day as Luigi. And for a kids movie, I think they did an okay job. And I do get why Nintendo chose to go with celebrities instead of Charles Martinet, who's been voicing Mario since Mario jumped to 3D. Because, let me explain this. Imagine if you're watching an hour-and-a-half movie and you're hearing, "Whoa, yeah, it's me, Mario, and I'm going to rescue the princess," or Luigi. Yes, you can tolerate that and enjoy that in 2 to 5 second voice samples. People been hearing that in 2 second, 5 second voice samples for around 26 years, and people don't have a problem with that. But when you're hearing that for an hour and a half, it's too much. It's kind of like the Minions. Like, the only people that like the Minion movies are younger kids and older people who were born before the 60s. That's what the first Minions movie only appealed to. Because the Minions just be gibberish, like, "I'm a fucking Minion, blah, blah, blah." and people got sick of it. And think about Cars 2, which is from Pixar, by the way. People got annoyed with Toll Mater because people that hate him in Cars 1 because Toll Mater was a side character. He was a secondary character. He has an overly cartoonish, conservative redneck voice, and he was meant for comic relief. The thing is, you never want to have a character with an overly cartoonish voice be the main role and be the main characters. You never want to put the comic relief character as the main character. Because think about Cars 2, for example. Think about the Minions, for example. Those are two movies of why you should not have your main character have an overly over-the-top cartoonish voice. You shouldn't do that when you're making an hour-and-a-half long movie. Like, the only characters I just did not like their voices for is Anna Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach. I did not care for her as Princess Peach at all. She just did not impress me as the character. Not saying I want the original voice actress to voice Peach and have an overly cartoonish voice, but Anna Taylor-Joy didn't really impress me as Peach. And Fred Armisen, who plays Cranky Kong, I just did not bought him as Cranky Kong. But other than that, I could tolerate the rest of the cast. I totally get that it's Illumination. They have to do celebrity voices because money. But it makes sense why Nintendo would choose celebrity voices over Charles Martinet's voice, because you don't want to have a character with an overly cartoony voice and you be hearing that for an hour and a half. Now, I think the best part for me is Jack Black as Bowser. I wish there was more adult humor in this movie. I wish there was. But the only adult humor where the adults were laughing, where Bowser was simping over Peach, like that when there was some musical numbers of Bowser simping over Peach. Like I was laughing my ass off watching it, and the adults in the audience were, but which, yeah, people make with Mario Sunshine, like when Bowser Jr. was like, "Leave Mama Peach alone, bitch, you motherfucker, fat Italian." Like, people make juvenile jokes that Bowser had intercourse with Peach, and Bowser Jr. was the offspring that Bowser produced, which people always made juvenile jokes about that in Mario Sunshine. Like, Bowser was this dickhead football jockhead in high school who hooked up with cheerleaders, and Princess Peach had fucked Bowser when they were in high school. Like, people made juvenile jokes about that, and
she had to think about that. Holy shit, she fucked Bowser, didn't she?
It just cracked me up that the Mario movie kind of joked a little bit about that, which there weren't any jokes that the kids laughed at. There weren't any poo-poo jokes or pee-pee jokes or masturbation jokes, whatever little kids laugh at. Well, I still laugh at that kind of humor, but you get the idea. I wish there was more humor in this movie, if you know what I mean. I wish there was, like, the Lego movie, like, wit into that. But I just wish there was more humor into that. I did laugh at Jack Black as Bowser simping over Peach, but I just wanted more humor. That's what I wanted more. And I also wanted this movie to be longer, because an hour and 32 minutes might seem like, well, it makes sense because it's a kid's movie. But this movie just isn't going. I gotta go fast as shit. Go, get going, keep going, keep things moving. Like, this movie just doesn't slow down and take a breath. Like, the movie just goes fast, like zoom. If you're an adult, you are going to laugh a little bit at this movie, and you won't hate yourself while watching this. You will laugh at a few jokes here and there with this movie, with Jack Black as Bowser and all that, but this movie is aimed at children, and it's not up there with Toy Story quality or The Incredibles quality. It's not that level of quality of children's entertainment. Like, I still had some fun with the movie, don't get me wrong. It's not one of those movies where it's heavily aimed at kids, it heavily panders to kids. It tries to pander to Nintendo fans and make people feel nostalgic. That's what the movie is. And there are a lot of references to all sorts of Nintendo platforms, like Luigi's ringtone on his phone is the GameCube startup sound, which is a nice Easter egg. And Mario played Kid Icarus. That's another cool Easter egg. Like those, and I love the remixes to Mario themes. Like in the credits, like there was an ultra cinematic from Mario Galaxy. Like that was beautiful. I love that. And the animation is beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful. Like the world of Mario on the big screen, like, feels immersive. Like the Mario enemies in the games, like it feels like you're interacting with a place. Like there's a whole economy, there's whole cultures and all that, all the kingdoms, like the Donkey Kong Country area, and it feels like when you're watching it, it feels immersive when you're watching it. And the Mario enemies have their own ecosystem and all of that. It's just so cool. Like the water textures is so photorealistic. The animation is beautiful. I love the animation. And they did a good job keeping what stayed true to the games and making it true, like changing the voices, like made a lot of sense, because like think about the Toads and the Penguins. Like in the games they had higher voices, but in the movie they had deeper man voices, which I just find it awesome. Though I never visualized the Penguins in Mario having a deep man voice. That just amazes me. And there's a reference to Luigi's Mansion, and it reminds me of like Sid's room from the first Toy Story. Like a Luigi's Mansion movie can be really creepy. Like, I don't want like a rated R dark horror movie of Luigi's Mansion, but a kid's movie can still be scary in a way by focusing on atmosphere, a dark atmosphere, which is what made the spooky episodes of Thomas and Friends so good, and because it has atmosphere to it. And I think a Luigi's Mansion can work really well. But there are other Nintendo properties that I think can work really well on the big screen. Like a Metroid. Like it could work as a theatrical or as a TV show. And a Star Fox. How cool would that to have a Star Fox movie? There was a short film back in 2016 which was well written and well voice acted and well animated. A Star Fox series or an adaptation would be awesome. So I had fun with the Mario movie. Like, if you're a Mario fan or a Nintendo fan, you are going to get the most enjoyment out of it. But if you're a parent or a middle-aged person who's not into video games at all, who is into Mario, yes, you might get a few laughs here and there. You might not hate yourself while watching this. But for me, I didn't cringe at all. It's just, I just wanted more. Like, I wish there was more jokes in it that made me laugh, and I wish that it was longer. Like, I don't want it to be as long as the Justice League Snyder Cut, like, make it 4 hours, but maybe a 10 to 15 minutes. Like, I wish the movie slowed down a bit. Like, it just keeps zooming fast, and that's my main gripe with the Mario movie. It just makes me to think I want some things added. I wish there was more ingredients added. That's what the thing is. Like, would I watch it again? Yes, I probably would get on 4K when it comes out on 4K. Yeah, the Mario movie wasn't that bad at all. Especially when it's from Illumination, and Illumination is nowhere up to Pixar quality or anything like that. Yes, the movie's for kids. I just wish there was more to it. That's all. This is the Film Buff Gamer Guy signing off. Have a good one. Bye-bye.